Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It's a little bit drizzly this morning, and there's very few people out, so I think it's probably because of the weather. I hope you've had a fantastic week thus far, and you've got a much productive couple of days until the weekend. Hopefully it's been a very successful one for you up until now. As I was running, this thought popped into my head again, as they always do. It's a conversation that I had with a friend of mine many years ago. It's probably one of the best technical directors and software developers I've ever worked with, a chap by the name of Ibrahim. So Ibrahim, if you're listening, this one goes out to you. Ibrahim and I used to talk about many things, about philosophy of life, and as you can probably well imagine, he was really into his physics and his statistics. And a conversation that we had will stay with me forever. The moment those words left his lips, I thought that's quite profound, and it's something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And it was this: he said, peak performance happens when you're on the edge of instability. And it got me thinking, think about the great sports stars, the great people in business, the great machines that we've built and the way that we drive them. So for example, if you've got a Formula 1 car, the best drivers drive that machine on the edge, on the edge of instability. A fighter jet performs best when it's on the edge of instability. And quite often in sport, you see those guys that talk about leave it out on the pitch. They're willing to die for the cause. Just recently, I completed watching The Last Dance, and Michael Jordan. Oh my God, what an amazing athlete! He was willing to give everything and leave it out on that basketball court. And that's why they were considered to be on the edge of instability. You look at football, people like Roy Keane, who'd give their life for the game to win. You look at business people that just have this relentlessness day in, day out, and being on the edge of instability. It's quite a daunting thought when you think about, if you're a mere mortal. But I think that's what separates the people that are really good to the people that are considered as great. And there are downsides to it. There are risks to being always on the edge of instability, really going full capacity all the time. Because when you're on the edge of instability, as we know, Formula 1 cars, they can break down. You can have mental breakdowns. You've seen it many times in sport. You can isolate yourself. You can alienate yourself. You can alienate yourself from your teammates. But I think there's some wisdom in that really every day, are we really pushing ourselves to the optimal limit? Are we really doing what we can to get to where we need to get to? Or are we just good at what we're doing? Now, there's this other saying by Voltaire: don't make good the enemy of perfect or excellent. There's some wisdom in that as well. But I believe in life, in business, that you're all in or you're all out. And if you're all in, then give it your all. Yes, sometimes, it might overflow, you might fall off the edge. But I think as you have experience in these things, it's knowing when to ease off the gas. It's knowing when to take time out. It's knowing when to go easy on certain things. Whereas before, in the past, personally, what I've probably have done is probably I've pushed too hard. And all too often what happens is sometimes you break relationships around you. So I think there's quite a few bits of wisdom in there that I've learned from other people. I just wanted to share them with you. And as always, please remember, always be brave, be bold, and be empathetic. Have a great week.